Hello children, I hope all are fine and all are doing your works properly. You're doing all your sums properly. You're working out all your problems regularly. I hope you are doing all these things properly. Yes children, so just keep it up. Today we are going to start with our exercise 1.6. As I have told you that exercise 1.6 we have to use the rules that comes from Rauchy-Capelli theorem. And in the previous class we have studied in detail about the Rauchy-Capelli theorem and also the 3 different rules that we have to follow for checking the consistency of a given solution. Okay, just have a small recap of the rules and we move to our exercise. So what is the first rule for Rauchy-Capelli theorem? The first one, if rank of A is equal to rank of AB and this is equal to n. Here n denotes the number of unknowns. Number of unknowns is the number of variables used. Suppose you have the variable x, y, z. These 3 are known as unknowns. So if you have x, y, z, you have to say that n is equal to 3. And if you have only 2 variables used, so the number of or the value of n will be 2. So if you have such a condition like rank of A is equal to rank of AB is equal to n, then we say the system is consistent. This is the important thing you have to remember. So system is consistent and it has a unique solution. Unique solution means we have only one value for x, one value for y and one value for z. That's what called as unique solution. Okay, now coming to the second part, if we have rank of A is equal to rank of B, that is rank of A is equal to rank of AB and this is less than n. If this is less than n, then we have to say the system is consistent. The same thing over here. The system is consistent but it has infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions. So the answer depends on the rank. So we have to see the rank of a matrix A and also we have to see the rank of AB and also we have to note down the number of unknowns and we are going to determine whether the system is consistent and what about the solution, number of solutions, whether it's going to have a unique solution or whether it is going to have infinitely many solutions. Now coming to the third rule, if rank of A is not equal to rank of AB, if you have such a case, we say the system is inconsistent and it has no solution. Consistent and it has no solution. So just check for the ranks properly and we have to determine the system. I hope the rules are being recalled. We have just recalled the rule. So we are going to apply these rules and we are going to complete our exercise 1.6. So let's start with exercise 1.6. So write down your classwork, put today's date, give the heading, exercise 1.6, write down question number 1, test for consistency and if possible, solve the following systems of equations by rank method. Question number 1, that is you are going to check for the consistency and if you are able to and if possible, that means if we are able to get the answer, we have to get the answer by the rank method. Okay children, so let's follow up. Take on the first subpart, x minus y plus 2z is equal to 2, 2x plus y plus 4z is equal to 7, 4x minus y plus z is equal to 4. So take down the questions properly. Do not make mistake when you copy the question. X minus y plus 2z is equal to 2. 2x plus y plus 4 is equal to 7. 4x minus y plus z is equal to 4. Okay, I hope you have taken on the questions. Okay, so now let's write down the steps over here. Okay, the first step is you are going to note down the number of unknowns. Okay, just tell me how many number of unknowns over here. Yes, that is we have to find out the value for x, we have to find the value for y, and also we have to find out the value for z. So totally we have 3 unknowns over here. So here number of unknowns, here number of unknowns is equal to 3. So this is the first thing that you are going to find out from the equation. Okay, now let's go for the next thing. Now you have to write down the matrix in the form of Ax is equal to B. That was in Rauchy-Capelli theorem. If you just refer your Rauchy-Capelli theorem, what is the statement? The statement was a system of linear equations written in the matrix form as Ax is equal to B. So first of all we have to write down the system in the form of Ax is equal to B, and then later on we are going to check for the consistency. So let's write the next step. So the matrix form of system, the matrix form of system is Ax is equal to B, and you know how to write down A and how to write X and also how to write B. Okay, let's take down the A, B and X, where A is equal to, for A you have to take down all the coefficients of the, what's that, variables X, Y and Z in an order. Okay, just you follow the same order. So 1, minus 1, 2, here 2, 1, 4, 4, minus 1, 1. So this is what we get a matrix A as. I get A as 1, minus 1, 2, 2, 1, 4, 4, minus 1, 1. Okay, now we know the value for x, children. Yes, can you tell me the value for x? Yes, it's x, y, z. Good. And what is the value for b? B is equal to, write down all the constant values. So we have 2, 7, 4. So we have written the system in the form of Ax is equal to B. So now what are we going to do? Now we are going to apply the elementary row transformations on the augmented matrix. Augmented matrix is AB. This is called as augmented. Combine, like we are writing two matrices together, okay? Augmented matrix. Okay, so write down the statement here. Applying row operations, applying elementary row operations. We are using this row operations. We have studied some rules under elementary row operations, yes, children? So we are going to apply elementary row operations on the augmented matrix. On augmented matrix AB, we get. So what we are going to get? Let's see how to solve our sum. Okay, so we have applied the elementary row operations. That is, we are going to apply elementary row operations on augmented matrix, and let's see how the augmented matrix turns to be. So what you get here? AB. So we want augmented AB. So AB is equal to, present this, children, A, write the matrix A. It's 1, minus 1, 2, 2, 1, 4, 4, minus 1, 1. A line over here. Write the value for B. It's 2, 7, 4. So 1 minus 1, 2, 2, 1, 4, 4 minus 1, 1. And here we have 2, 7, 4. Okay. Now I always say the first element of a matrix should be 1 so that it is easy for us to make the numbers below it as 0. Now in this case the number 1 is already present in the first as a first element. So let's go for the conversion directly. So we are going to change R2 and also we are going to change R3. I want the first element of R2 as 0 and also I want the first element of R3 as 0. So let's go for the conversion. So since we have here 1, I can write R2 as R2 minus 2R1. Yes, it's 2 minus 2 into 1. You get the answer 0. Can you tell me the conversion for R3? Yes, R3 will change as R3 minus, we have here 4. So it's 4R1. So we have written the conversion for R2 and R3. So I just give you some time, you complete your work and just keep it ready. So no need to change the first row. The first row remains the same. It's 1, 1, there is 1 minus 1, 2 and 2 here. And now change for row 2 and row 3 and just wait for my answer. Try to do the rough work, children. And you have to be quicker also. Have you taken down? Okay, I hope you have tried out the answer for row 2 and row 3. Okay, let's have a cross check of your answers. R2 is changed to R2 minus 2R1, yes? So 2 minus 2R1, so 2, 1. So this is 0. Yes, 1. So 1 minus 2 minus 1. So 1 minus 1 minus 1 plus. So you get here 1 plus 2. That's 3. Then 4. So 4 minus 2, 2. That's 4 minus 4, you get 0. Here 7 minus 2 into 2. So you get 7 minus 4, that's 3. So you get 0, 3, 0, 3. Let's go for the third row. What we have in the third row, what is the conversion for third row? R3 changes is R3 minus 4R1. Okay, let's see for R3, it's 4 minus 4R1. So I'll just do here, okay, I have place over here. 4 minus 4 into 1, that's 0. Okay, done. Minus 1 minus 4 minus 1. So minus 1 plus 4, yes, minus 4 into minus 1, it's plus 4. So you get the answer as 3. Okay, done. Then here 1 and 2. So 1 minus 4 into 2. We don't get confused when you are doing the changes, children. Just be careful to choose the corresponding rows. If you are taking R3, I have to take R1 only. Don't just mix up with R2. If you take the element of R2, everything will go wrong. So be careful. See what is the conversion we have taken here? R3 and R1. Okay. So choose the element from R3 and R1. So 1 minus 4 into 2. So you get 1 minus 8, which is equal to minus 7. Clear? Okay. So I'm just doing the rough work here. Now let's go for the last element. So it's 4 minus 4 into 2. 4 minus 4 into 2. So 4 minus 8, which is equal to minus 4. So I get here minus 4. So I have completed R2 and R3. So we got a new value for R2 and R3. Yes, children? Yes. So now what is the next step we are going to do? So the next thing is we have come to R2, that is leave the first row. We are not worried about our first row now. We are going to focus on the second row. Now in the second row, we have to see the first non-zero element, non-zero. This is a 0. First element is 0. Okay, I agree with the first element is 0. But now you have to focus on the first non-zero. So which is a non-zero element over here? It's 3. So what we have to do? We have to make the element before, that is below 3 as 0. So this to be made as 0. But see, we have the same numbers over here. So what can be done? R3 is going to change as R3 minus R2. That's all, very simple. If I subtract them, I'm going to get the answer as 0. So how is the change? R3 changes to R3 minus R2. Let's complete the conversion. Okay, let's do the step. So no need to change R1 and R2. Yes, children? So we keep R1 and R2 as it is. So 1, minus 1, 2, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3. No need to do any changes in the first row and the second row. We are going to change the third row. So R3 is changed to R3 minus R2. Okay, let's see how it's been changed. 0 minus 0, 0. Good. 3 minus 3, 0. Done. Yeah, what's this? Minus 7 minus 0. Minus 7 minus 0. It's minus 7. Minus 4 minus 3. Minus 7. So we get 0. That is, we have done the next step. That is, we have brought a 0 under the non-zero element of the second row, that is below 3 we have to bring 0. So we have done that step. So with this we have completed the elementary row operations. So we have completed the elementary row operations. Now we have to check the rank and we are going to proceed for the unknown values. That is, we are going to find out the value for x, y and z. Let's see how to move further, children. Okay, let's start here. So now, find out the rank, and I have told you how to find the rank for A and also have told you how to find out the rank for A, B, S. So find out rank of A here. What is the rank of A? So when you are finding rank of A, do not take the whole matrix. Just focus on the first half. That is a division. We have a division over here, yes? So you have to take the part before the division. So what is the rank here? See, all non-zero, one non-zero. Again here we have one non-zero. So what is the rank? The rank is 3. We should not take here, we should not say this is a 0 row. This is not a 0 row because we have a number other than 0. So we have minus 7 present, yes? So that will be taken as a non-zero row. This is a non-zero row. This is a non-zero row because 3 is present. And this is a non-zero row because minus 7 is present. So how many non-zero rows we have? 3. So what is rank of A? It's 3. Okay, done. Now let's find rank of AB. What is rank of AB, children? See here. When you go for rank of AB, you have to take the whole augmented matrix AB. So this is, you have to consider the whole matrix. Whole matrix, okay, full matrix. Non-zero row, non-zero row, a non-zero row. Okay, done. So again, rank of AB is equal to 3. Okay. And one more thing I know, we have seen that number of unknowns is also 3. That is, n is also 3. So what is this? This follows the first rule that all the 3, that is n, rank of A, rank of AB, all are same. So if you have such a condition, we say the system is consistent. Yes, system is consistent and it has a unique solution. Okay, children. So before we write the final statement, what we are going to do here is, we are going to write down the what is that? Echelon form as a system of equations. So let's write down the system. Write down. From echelon form, we write the equivalent system of equations. Equivalent system of equations. How are we going to write the equivalent system? From echelon form, we are going to write the equivalent system of equations. See here how to write. Start from the first row, no problem. So this is x plus, not plus, x minus y plus 2z is equal to 2. Take it as 1. Then you have here 3y is equal to 3. That's second point. And third one, minus 7z is equal to minus 7. That is your third point. X minus y plus 2z is equal to 2. 3y is equal to 3 is the second one you get from your row echelon form. And the third one we get minus 7z is equal to minus 7. Okay children, so now here again that is in which case we have used in the Gaussian elimination method, we have used the back substitution method. We have just we are finding the values from the back part. Yes. Again here similarly we are going to find out the answer from back. That is, we are going to start from third, then 2, and then we go to number 1. So let's find out the value for all the unknowns. I'll rub this part. I hope you have taken this steps. So from 3 minus 7z is equal to minus 7. So minus minus goes off. So z is equal to 7 upon 7, which is equal to 1. Then from 2, 3y is equal to 3. Therefore, y is equal to 3 upon 3. Again, it gives you 1. And the last thing is, we are going to substitute the value for y and z in the first equation. So from 1, x, I don't know the value for x, minus, I know the value for y, that's 1, plus 2z. So 2 into 1 is equal to 2. So x minus 1 plus 2 is equal to 2. So this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. So x is equal to 1. So I have got the value for z, got the value for y, and I got the value for x. X is equal to 1. So now we have to write the final statement over here. See, I have told you that when you have all the 3's to be equal, that is when we have rank of A, rank of AB, and the number of unknowns to be same, we get a unique solution. See, we have different solutions for all the different values. A unique means one value. That is, for x we have one value, for y we have one value, and for z we have one value. So now let's complete our final answer. Here, the system is consistent and has a unique solution. Okay, you can give the reason. Unique solution since rank of A is equal to rank of AB is equal to number of unknown is equal to 3. So all are equal as 3. Rank of A, rank of AB, and number of unknown, all are 3. Therefore, solution, the final solution that we have arrived at. So solution, x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, and z is equal to 1. So we have completed our first answer. I hope the sum is clear to you. It's just the important part over here is you have to just that elementary row transformation should be proper. If you just do the elementary row transformations in a proper way, our answer will be correct. We will not get any mistakes. We get the answers correct. Okay, so this was the first rule. So we have done a sum which dealt with the first rule. So now take down sum number 2. Take down sum number 2. Write down the question. 3x plus y plus z, 3x plus y plus z is equal to 2. X minus 3y plus 2z is equal to 1. X minus 3y plus 2z is equal to 1. 7x minus y plus 4z is equal to 5. So is the second question we are dealing with. What's that? 3x plus y plus z is equal to 2. X minus 3y plus 2z is equal to 1. 7x minus y plus 4z is equal to 5. So we are going to follow the same steps that we have followed for our sum number 1, and we are just going to proceed with the sum. Okay children, shall we start with the answer? Okay. Come on, write down the first statement. What is the first statement? Yeah, what is the first step you are going to do? Yes, you are going to write down the number of unknowns. What is the number of unknowns over here? Yes, it's 3. So write down. Here, number of unknowns is equal to 3. That is, what are the unknowns here? X, y and z. So we have written 3 unknowns. Okay. Next, what is the matrix form? Ax is equal to b. So write down the matrix form of the system. The matrix form of the system is Ax is equal to b, where, okay, get the value for A, get the value for X, and also write the value for B. Come on, do it. You know how to write down the matrix A, how to write matrix B, and how to write matrix X. Okay, do it fast. I hope you have completed the matrix A, children. Let's have a check. What do you get here? 3, 1, 1, 1, minus 3, 2, 7, minus 1, 4. And what is the value for X? Yes, X, Y, Z. What is the matrix B? Write down the constant terms. 2, 1, 5. So we have completed the second step. That is, we have found the 3 different matrices. That is A, B and X. Okay, now let's go for the next step. What are we going to do now? You have to apply elementary row transformations on the augmented matrix. That is AB. So let's write down the matrix as AB. Down. Applying elementary row operations on augmented matrix AB. We get, okay, so we are going to get a augmented matrix AB. So just put the value for A and B. So what is A? 3, 1, 1, 1, minus 3, 2, 7, minus 1, 4, yes, and B, 2, 1, 5. You would have thought us, children, what will be our first change? Yes, we have to apply the first elementary row operation, that is any two row or any two column can be changed. Here we are just going to focus on row operations. So I can say here we can interchange the two rows. Which rows are going to be interchanged? Yes, good. That's 1 and 2. So let's interchange the two rows. So write down here, R1 is interchanged to R2. So you are going to interchange R1 and R2. Why are we interchanging? Yes, because we want the first element of the first row to be 1. Good. Do the interchanging. So it's 1 minus 3, 2 and 1 here. So just interchange. 3, 1, 1, 2, 7 minus 1, 4, 5. So taken down. So we have done the interchanging. Now you know the as usual process, how to make the numbers below 1 as 0. Yes? Good. Try out that conversion. So here R2 is changed as R2 minus 3R1 and R3 is changed to R3 minus 7R1. So do the changes and get a new matrix. Shall I do here? Yeah, I'll do it. Find out the answer. So you're going to change row 2 and row 3. Okay. Have you completed, children? Have you found out the row conversion for R2 and R3? Have you changed them? You have to be faster. So we have done lot of sums on elementary row operations. So you should be ready to apply it, and you have to be able to get the answer in the form of that 0, 0, 0. We get that answer, yes? So you have to make the matrix in that form. Okay, let's have a check of your answer. So the first row is not changed, so it's kept as it is. 1 minus 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go for the second one. R2 minus 3 R1. R2 minus 3 R1. So 3 minus 3 into 1. 3 and 1. So 0. Next 1 minus 3 minus 3. So 1 plus 9, 10. 1 minus 3, 2. 1 minus 6, minus 5. So right here minus 5. 2 minus 3 into 1. So 2 minus 3, it's minus 1. So we have filled the second row. Now you are going to check for the third row. Let's see what we get in third row. R3 minus 7 R1. So 7 minus 7, 0. 7 minus 7 into 1, that's 0. Minus 1 minus 7 and minus 3. So it's minus 1 plus 21. So you get 20. Okay, done. Next. Last one is 4 we have to do. Yes. So 4 minus 7 into 1. 4 minus 7 into 1. Oh, so where I am going, I have to take, yes, 3. Yes, that's what we make mistakes. So 4 minus 7 into 2. So 4 minus 14, I get minus 10. 4 minus 14, minus 10. And 5 minus 7 into 1. So 5 minus 7, minus 2. So we have changed R2 and also we have changed R3. So just check whether you have got the same answer as I have got. It's 1 minus 3, 2, 1. 0, 10 minus 5 minus 1. 0, 20, minus 10, minus 2. Okay, let's see. So you have to just apply your knowledge over here and let's see what changes can be done. So now what is the thing we have to do? We have to make the number below the first non-zero element of second zero as 0. There is a number below 10 should be 0. But see here, the third row is divisible by 2. So let's simplify the third row first. So I'm going to simplify the third row because here all the elements are divisible by 2. So change R3 first. So R3 is changed as R3 divided by 2. So change it. So when you divide by 2, what do you get here? So the first, second has been same. So 1, minus 3, 2, 1, 0, 10, minus 5, minus 1. And when we are dividing the third row, 0 divided by 2, 0. 20 divided by 2, 10. Okay. Minus 10 divided by 2. Yes, minus 5. Good. Minus 2 divided by 2. It's minus 1. Good. So we have changed the third row. So we have got a new row. That's 0, 10, minus 5, minus 1. Now it's easy for us to make the number below 10 as 0. Yes, already we have used the same conversion in first sum, yes children. So R3 is changed as R3 minus R2. So keep the first and the second row as same. So 1, minus 3, 2, 1. 0, 10, minus 5, minus 1. R3 minus R2. Okay children, 0 minus 0, 0. 10 minus 10, 0. Minus 5, minus 5. Be careful with the sign children. I always say that integer is very, very important. Apply the calculations properly. You have to just think of the operations that you have to follow. Minus means plus. So just don't just simply close your eyes and write down your any answer. Just check properly. You check the substitution and find out the value and put the value over here. So minus 5 minus, it's plus. Minus turns to be plus. So minus 5 plus 5 is 0. Okay, done. Here same way. Minus 1 minus 1. Minus plus. So minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 0. So we have got a 0 row. The last row is a 0 row because all the elements are 0. So now let's go for the step. So this let's see the rank of A and rank of AB. And let's see what to do. Tell me what is the rank of A here children? Rank of A, you have to just focus on the first half part. Non-zero row, 0 row. So we are not going to take the 0 row. So what is the rank? Rank is 2. Good. Let's go for the whole rank. That is for rank of AB. What is rank of AB? The full rank. This is non-zero row. Yeah, again this is a 0 row. Yes, 0 row. So what is rank of AB? 2. And one more thing we have found is number of unknowns were 2. So this is which rule? Number of unknown is 3. That is rank of A is 2. Rank of AB is 2. And what is the number of unknown? 3. That was the first step that we have taken. Yes children. So number of unknowns is equal to 3. So we are going to follow the second rule to complete our sum. What about the system here? The system will be consistent, but it is going to have infinite number of solutions. So let's check how we are going to get infinite number of solutions. So let's write down this echelon form as an equivalent system of equation. Come on, write down. So what we do here, from echelon form, we get the equivalent system as, or equivalent equation as, from echelon form we get equivalent system of equations. Okay, what is the system of equations? Start from the first. X, 1 into x, x minus 3y plus 2 z is equal to 1. This is our first equation. X minus 3y plus 2z is equal to 1. Here 10y minus, we don't have a 0, we have here 0, into x is 0. So just be careful when you write down the variable, don't write here 10x. 10y minus 5z is equal to minus 1, and here we have 0 is equal to 0, 2, 3. See, in the previous sum we started with z, so we got the value, that is we get the value of z from the third row. Okay, so here we are not able to get the value for z. So what are we going to do? We are going to take here one parameter. What is that parameter? We're just going to assume a value for z. So you're going to say take z is equal to take, because I will be not able to find out the value without knowing one value. At least I should know one value. That is from the back substitution method. When I go, or when we follow the back substitution method, first I should get the value for z. After that we get the value for y, and then we have to take both the values and substitute in equation 1, and we have to get the value for x. But in this case the third equation itself is 0. So we are not able to get the value for z. So what are you going to do? We are going to assume one value for z, and that's what we are taking the value for z as small t. So take the value for z as t. Now let's proceed the answer in the same manner. So now just you are going to substitute the t in 2. So from 2, 10y minus 5t is equal to minus 1. So you have to get the value for y. So keep y on one side and bring all the terms on one side. So 10y is equal to minus 1. This is minus 5t, so it turns to be plus 5t. So y is equal to, I'll take the positive number first, 5t minus 1 upon 10. So what is the value for y? 5t minus 1 upon 10. Is it clear, children? Okay. So now we have to find out the value for x. Yes, let's see how to find out the value for x. So you are going to substitute the value for z and y in the equation 1, so that we get the value for x. Okay, good. So let's see how to substitute our answer. Okay, let's start the work. So we have the equation x minus 3y plus 2z is equal to 1. So you just keep the value for x as it is, x minus 3. Okay, done. We have written here 3. What is the value for y? Yes, here 5t minus 1 upon 10. So you have to just put the value over here. So 5t minus 1 upon 10. Okay, good. Let's see the next term. Plus. Be careful with the sign, children. You have to be very careful with the sign. Sign, if you make mistakes in writing the sign, everything changes. So signs are very, very important. You have to follow up with a proper sign. Okay, plus 2 into z. So 2 into z. What is z over here? It's t. So 2t is equal to 1. So put here 1. Is it clear? So we have substituted the values for y and z. So let's get the answer. So here we have a number 10 on the decimal part. So we are going to take the LCM. So you see the 10 will be multiplied to x term and also to 2t term. So 10x Are you clear? We are going to do the substitution directly. So 10x minus, open the bracket, 3 into 5, 15t, minus 3 into minus 1, plus 3. 10 goes to 2t. So plus 20t is equal to 1. So what have we going to do? What are we going to do here? We are going to find out the value for x. So keep x on one side. Try to take the remaining to the RHS part. So 10x is equal to, here 1, yes? So 1. I'll just do the calculation and I'll shift it. Okay, children? What is minus 15 plus 20? Minus 15 plus 20. 20 minus 15 plus 5. Good. So you get here 5t. So when 5t, it's plus 5t. So when plus 5t goes to that side, minus 5t. And this is plus 3. So it turns to be minus 3. Yes? Any other calculations left out? Nothing. Okay. So what is the value for x we get here? So 10x minus 15t plus 3 plus 20t upon 1. Yes, here upon 10 was there. Yes, common upon 10. Yes, so put here upon 10 is a common. So no, this is not 1. Here we have to take it as 10. Yes. Because we have taken the LCM, so we will have a denominator as 10. So put upon 10. So you get 10x is equal to 10 minus 5t minus 3. So the answer is 7 minus 5t. So 10x is equal to 7 minus 5t. Therefore x is equal to 7 minus 5t upon 10. So we have found the value for x, we have found the value for y, and also we have found the value for z. Now let's conclude our answer, children. I'll wrap the first part. So what was the statement? Yeah, you are going to write down. Here, rank of A is equal to rank of AB. This is less than, this is 2, which is less than 3. What is 3? The number of unknown. So here rank of A is equal to rank of AB is equal to 2, which is less than 3. Therefore, the system is consistent and it has what? Infinitely many solutions. Okay, listen to me carefully, children. It has infinitely many solutions with how many parameter? One parameter. What was the parameter we have chosen? Yes, we have taken only, that is we don't know the value for z, so we have taken one parameter over here. What was the parameter taken here? T. So the system is consistent and it has infinitely many solutions which forms a one parameter family of solution, or we can say with a parameter of one parameter family of solutions. Are you clear with the statement, children? I'll repeat the statement once again. So here we have rank of A and rank of AB as same, but the number of unknown is greater than the rank. What is the number of unknown? Yes, it was 3. And what is the rank we have got here? It's 2. So the number of unknown is greater than the rank. So what about the system? The system is consistent. And how many solutions it is going to have? Infinite solutions. And how many parameter we are going to use here? One parameter. What is the parameter used here? It's T. So let's write the final statement. So solution, write the value for x. What is the value for x, children? Yes. 7 minus 5t upon 10. What is the value for y? 5t minus 1 upon 10. And what is the value for z? Yes, it is t. So we have completed our sum number 2. I hope the sums are clear to you. See, for sum number 2, we have followed the second rule for Rauchi-Capelli theorem. So this is what I have told you, that we have to be thorough with the rule. Once we know the rule, we can go with the answer. Clear, children? Okay. So I'll just have one more step over here. X is equal to, try to bring the denominators on one side. So 1 upon 10, 7 minus 5t, y is equal to 1 upon 10, 5t minus 1, and z is equal to t. Clear? Take on the sums. So here one parameter. In some cases what you get, children, in some cases I have told you that I'll explain to you about second rule when we solve the sum, yes. So sometimes what happens is, in this case, that is sum number 2, we got a full non-zero row, yes. The third row was full 0, every numbers were 0. In some cases you will get the second row also as 0. In that cases, here we have taken z as t, yes. So for that you will choose y is equal to yes. So when you take, that is for z also we have taken one parameter, and for y also you will take one more parameter. So again the statement will be the same. The system is consistent, it has infinite many solutions with 2 parameter. Instead of 1 you will write 2. When you get that type, when you get 2 0 rows, be clear. Just keep this in your mind so that it will be useful for you to solve your homework sums. So sum number 3 and sum number 4 will be your homework. I have completed the first subpart and the second subpart, and you are going to complete the third subpart and the fourth subpart as homework. I'll just mention the homework over here. So homework, exercise 1.6, question number 1, the third subpart and the fourth subpart. So 2 sums. Just do your sums step by step and write down it properly. Okay, children, I hope you can apply the rules and you can get the answer. We'll continue the second sum and the third sum in the next class.